Hello guys, and welcome back to part 5 of the Lego Arcade of the Pac-Man, and this is episode 5 of 14. First things first, as usual, where we last left off, there was obviously a piece missing, but I managed to, because they do leave you some bits in the bag, I managed to fill this gap in anyway, so it's not a problem at the end of it. So let me open up bag 5, and as usual, like all bag 5s and all of the other pieces, there's other pieces that you have to plug in, and you know, like they give you like little miniature bags. Some have 2 and 3 bags. Some come with residual stuff like this, which is bag 5. I won't be tipping these out until we near enough finish the build, because obviously, you know, you don't want too many pieces everywhere at the end of the day. So, but you will need it, and as usual, I always make sure that I spread all the pieces out so I know I can find the piece that I need at the end of it. So, which makes it easier for me. So, I'm bag 5. So let's continue where we've left off. Sit round, which is fantastic. Right, so first things first. For me thing today, I've got a king pot noodle, letting it cool down. It's a bit hot. Save some there for Bronson at the end of the day, so he can have some. Which he's sitting down here, he's waiting for me to literally on that front, but yeah, so hopefully, so right, the next parts we're going to need now are going to be live chat. Yeah, live chat, that's it. So we are all good on that front. So let me see how many pieces we need now. So we need 2 of the 4s, which is this. Yes, okay. 2 of the black 4s. 1, 2. No, that's the 3. Obviously, that's a black 4. Okay. 2 of the black 3s. Oh, we did need them after all at the end of the day. And okay. 2 of these type ones, which I just know roughly. And again 2 of the 3s, which we've got here. Right, okay. Because again, these are, we're just adding on existing of what we're putting onto this bar top. So this is, you know, if you look in the book, this is where page up to 112, 300 and something. It's actually gone quite quickly, but not as quickly as I thought it would be. But you know, so we're up to this page here at the moment. So, you know, so we just make sure that I've got all the correct parts that I need and it's situated, and then I can see where these go, because again, this book can be very vague of knowing where do these parts actually physically need to go. So we need to start at this side of the board, like always. Make sure it's facing towards you, you know, on that front. So yeah, it's not a problem. We're going to put a brick in the corner, so up on here, and we are going to be putting a brick on this corner, which we have. So it looks like it on here. Yep, we have. And we are going to take a 4 and put 1 on the outside, same on the other side. So we need to just copy. In a brick we need 3. 3, and we need a 4. We're going to need a 4 with the black one, because Pac-Man is a black and white theme, mainly yellow themed. So we need to put a 3 against that, and now we've got it all looking snug, basically. So this is how it's supposed to look at the sides. It's identical. The only reasons why I've got an incorrect colour, it's because I was one part missing, which I was really surprised with Lego. And obviously, it's not going to stop finishing the build, but that does annoy me with that one part alone missing, because comparing, I left it. You know, I went through everything and, you know, followed everything, all the guide, and it was all correct. So to have that one part missing, I'm really surprised. Lego's normally really good on that front. They don't normally have any parts missing, but it's done by a machine, so it could have been left out accidentally, I don't know. But anyway, we've improvised, and it hasn't stopped the build from continuing. It's not like the Mega Block one of the Xbox 360, because that stopped me from finishing my job because there was too many parts missing, so that I couldn't do anything about. So we need two of these long ones, yeah, okay, two of the threes, yeah, because again, now we're going to need two of the twos. Have we got long ones in here? We need two of these, the black ones, okay, two of the threes, and we need two of the twos. So we're probably going to be in this bag. Yeah, like that, and as usual, the small parts go in the small parts bag, which makes it really difficult to dig out when you need the part. Okay, good. Cool. So, we're now starting to build the sides up. So we need to put one bit on the outside, okay, then three next to that wall, and then I can rinse and repeat, and then a super long one like that, and we'll do the same again. So we'll put one on one side, 1, 3 on the outer wall, and then the long piece bits, and then we just copy again from the inside, inside, 3 black against 3 black on the other side, long one versus the long one. So again, now we've started to build the sides up, which is cool. So you're going to have a black on sort of like black yellow theme sort of inside, except for that little bit of grey, which is frustrating because it spoils the build. But never mind, that's done. So we're up to page 114. So again, more yellow bricks. We need 2 of the 6s, of the 4s, sorry, should say that. 2 of the 4s, 2 of the 3s, again 2 of the 3s, 2 of the 3s, yeah. Now we need some flat ones here, which we did have, I did see them. These are the long ones, 2 of them, and 2 of the black 3s, which we've got. Cool. Okay, take them, bring it back into shot, make sure it's facing forward towards you, should be alright at the end of the day. So let's put a block on. Block goes on the corner, which it does. Block on the other corner, which it does. Inner line, blank face plate. Inner line, blank face plate. Cool. And then we're going to put one on one end, one on the other, and then we'll just put the black in where the other 3 goes. So basically, so you have white facing, the yellow face, not white, yellow facing on the sides, and the black, because remember, the black's going to be where the Pac-Man goes, and you can see it going around the board. So, which will be about right. It's supposed to represent the thing. Right, so the next part is actually going quite quickly now, so good. 2 of the blanks. At the end of the day, we need 2 of these, 4 of them. Wow. Yeah, okay, 4 of them. Now we need 4 of the other ones, which, no, 8, not 4, it's 8 of these. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At the end of the day, 8 of them, and 2 of the small little red ones, which we have. Cool. Okay. So we got 4 of them, not 2. We need 4. Okay. Me, I misjudge. Right. Okay. So what we don't need to make these yet because we've got to make something to go inside. Right. Okay. Makes sense. So bring them back into play. So what we need to make up is we'll take the long one here, take the long one, and we'll make sure that they sit. So these actually sit. We need to make a wall going up like this, and we need to do this twice apparently. So let me do that again, times 2, because it's one's got to go one side, one's got to go the other. It does make sense. Okay. So the way of doing it is the small pieces, and it all sits. So these are all facing, so you can actually get to see. Right. Okay. That's 2 for 2. Then what we need to do then after that is flip it over, so you need it facing all of the sides on there. Put the one side on one side on the other, and a blank plate. So it's like that. Again, same thing. Flip it over, one side on the other, one side on that, and that's cool. So again, so we got 2, but we still got 2 of these because it did ask for 4, which it did. Right. So it's got to be a reasons why, and we are going to come to that right now. So basically, what we need to do is take the inside. That's probably why it's got a lip. It's going to sit against that lip. So this lip sits inside, so it looks like it sits in there, which it does. Sits all snugly. Same with the other side, and that's the idea of putting the black plates inside so it sits flush. Well, so it all sits nice and flush, which it does. Cool. At the end of the day is these Bonson's meal. Yep, it's cold. You can have his noodles. Let me just have a quick bite of my noodle. Lovely. Right, so we've got both sides covered, and it all sits snugly. Good. Right. Now we need another again of the black 2 of the 3s. If I can find, yes, we have 2 of the big long 2s. These ones, yes, we've got 2 of them. 2 of the 4 yellows, yep, we have. And we're going to need 2 of the small, very small pieces, so that'd be in a tiny bag. And there'd be the little black pieces, segregated by themselves. Cool. So what we need to do now is start building some of this up, because now we're building up from the sides now, so you can actually see it's actually started to take shape at the end of the day. I mean, obviously you've got the little light, and remember it's covered in, you're going to have loads of fingerprint marks, so that's not good, that can't be helped. You can clean it after it's all done, and that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing at the end of the day. So it looked like we're taking up from here, from the black, we're going to put the little, oh, they wasn't them, they was blanks. Yes, I got them wrong. So it wasn't the ones that's raised. It's got to have the little blank caps. Where are those? So they were wrong. It wasn't. I'm glad I checked. Well, you have to look very closely because it doesn't give you any. It's really difficult to see because this is very black. It's very dark black and it's very glossy and it makes it really difficult to see. So what we need is one from one end from the other. Right, okay, we'll straighten it up. Cool. I like to make sure it's all straight at the end of the day. We're going to take the really long brick and pull it up against this back piece here, and I'll show you in a minute. Same again. So it looks like we've put one, we've left one, we've moved one up, so one's empty, one ain't got nothing on it, I suppose, because that's going to be part of a wall going up against it. That's what it says on there, to leave. And we'll use the remaining 3 bricks to go from the inside of the brick on that one, and then you'll have the 3. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 3 goes in one side, 3 goes in the other. So again, we're getting sort of like a segregated black and white sort of thing, but it's all going to be yellow, except for the base will be black gloss. So yeah, it's building up. So yeah, that's looking good. Cool, cool. Let's give Bronson some more pot noodle. All right. Wonder what I was. I was wondering what I was sitting on for a minute ago. I thought, wow, what am I? You know, unbelievable. Okay, let's give Bronson some more of the pot noodle. Can't have it yet, Bronson. Can't have it yet. Let it cool down. Good boy. Let me just have a quick bite. Good stuff. So, so now we need 1 thin red. Well, we've only got 1. We start needing some red parts by the looks of it. Cool. Right, so we got a little small part here. We need that. Yeah, oh, 2 of them. One right tucked in the corner. Cool. Okay. Again, a little. Oh no, don't need them. They're going to be in the other bag, isn't it? They are going to be in the other bag. So if we got any corners, yes, 2 of the corners of the yellow squares. Okay. 2 of the yellow bricks. Okay. 2 of the blues. Okay, fair enough. 1/3 of the grey brick. Yep, cool. And what else do we need? We need, put them there for a minute because I'm going to need some more bits. And follow it into soup. 2 of the 3 bricks. I know where the 3 brick one is. Right, we've got 1. Oh, one of the 3. In it. Sorry, I didn't see that. And again, we need. It's not going to be in there. Might be in there. Yes, it is. So we need 1 of that brick, 1 of the square, which it is. Ain't got no holes or other bits on there. And all we need is bits out of this one, which will be 2 of the little round cups, the red cup ones. So that's red cup 1, and there's the other one. Cool. That's it. Now we need to put these together. So what we need to do is take the blue and put the other bit straight in. So you got on the red cup part, you've got like a little notch and then the long shaft. The long shaft has to go right through, so it clicks in. So you've got a raised part there, and we need to do that twice. Cool. Okay. And right, and then we put one of, now it doesn't matter on the long side, but as long as it goes through, not that side, it's got to go through that shaft and it clicks in, so it doesn't, so it sticks out basically. So that's easy enough. Okay, cool. And we need to put these, right, which is interesting. We're going to bring this back in, make sure it's facing towards you with the control panel. I normally put it at an angle because it's the way they've set it, and then I can see I'm trying to copy the contour of the actual putting this together. So again, looking at this on that front, we need to put a block in on the corner, because otherwise you're going to be guessing where these go. So a block in each corner, right, at the end of the day. Yeah, cool. A yellow brick, single 2, goes on the outside. Cool, okay. And what we need then is we take the single grey, we need to put it onto the right hand side, and that slots inside of where that goes. But before you do that, it says you need to put the red bit down first and then select that to sit it down so it's slightly raised. Okay, fair enough. And then we'll put one of the black caps next to it so it's down, then the blue one that sits on top. So let me show you how that's situated. So we need to put, you need to put the red bit in first and then the grey bit so it sits, so it's slightly raised. And there's got to be a reason why they've done that, because there's only one of them greys. So we'll flip it round, we now just redo the same side again, and we'll do the same thing. So again, looking at that, we've got the grey crap, so the grey brick, the 3 goes behind, then the 2, and then the inner bit that sticks out goes inside, not outside. So it's facing like that basically. So it looks like there's going to be something sitting on this inside. That's the general idea. Okay, cool. You see if Bunsen's, yep, it is. Bunsen can have his noodles. Let's have a bit more noodle. Nice. Right, cool. That's done. So we are up to page 118. So what we need now is 4. Yeah, so we need 2 of them, okay, of the 4s, of the stand-up ones. Cool, okay. These have to go on to the front, which they do, and it fills in that gap. Cool. So now we're putting these on. That's done. Right, so the other bits we're going to need again, that is bag number 5 that says number 5. We're going to need 2 of the flatbreads, okay, and there's got to be 2 flat of the black ones there as well, and they're going to be in the other little tiny bag. Bonson, what on earth are you doing? Just take the pot, take it over there. A nightmare you are, boy. Let's see if we can find 2 of the flats, because again you've got to look really closely. Yep, found it. There you go. 2 of the flat ones. Cool. So you need to go back into, no, we do need to go in this bag, because there should be 2 of these type, of these yellow L bracket ones, which there is. Cool. Need 2 of them, and there's some in the other bag, with a bag number 5, the small bag number 5. We need 2 of the little caps, square ones, separate. Yep, there's 1. There's 2, and we need 2 flat 3s. Number 1 and number 2. How cool is that? Cool. All 2 of each. Lovely. So, hold up, I can't move. So what we need to do is take a flat 3, take an upright one, and we put it straight in the centre at the end of the day, which we have. Okay, the black cap goes behind it, the yellow, so you can actually see. I normally use me nail and just pinch me nail, so it just straightens it up a little bit, because these don't always sit straight, and I like it to sit flush, because otherwise it makes it look cockeyed, you know, when you're putting it together. So we look like we're going to have to do this by 2, and then we put a red one at the front, and then a blank cap. So then we've got this. So now we need to, I just need to repeat that. So again, front, back. I'll just straighten it up. Cool. A red one at the front and a black plate, a blank plate at the front. So it's got like a sandwiched type of connectors on there, so it looks really cool. Okay, cool. Okay, bring it in. These look like these go on the corner, which it does. Sits right on that corner. That's the reasons why there was a lip. It was left on purpose. So now it looks like that. So it looks like it's building a window. Right, same thing again. Where that little lip is, right on that corner where the one's down. Right, where the blank plate is, where it sits on that blank plate. So it sits right on that side and it sits flush. Perfect. You can clearly see it. So, nice. So now we need some blank standoffs now. So let me pull some of these out. So I'm going to need 4 of these. Right, interesting. 2, that's 3, and that's 4. So let me put these back in. Cool. So we need to build the towers back up now, which is exactly what we're doing. So we put 2 on each side. That's all we do. Right next to that thing what we just put up, and that then pulls it flush, which it does. So now it's sitting flush with them items that we just put in on the side of the pillars. You can clearly see it's sitting nice and flush on the side there. Cool. So the next part is, so we're going to need some frees, flat frees, which are going to be in a tiny bag, and of course they are. 2 of them. 2 of the flats. We need 2 of the 2s, and they're not going to be in now. 2 of the 2s are going to be in this one. Or he says, of the black 2s. No, you're not in there. So they are going to be in that tiny bag. Wow, you surprised me. Let's have a look. Yes, they was hiding. Where they was, see, that's what I say to you. Please, you have to check the bags very carefully. It's really difficult to see because of that black. It's really dark. Really dark. It's, I mean, it's quite black at front. And we need, I've done that, didn't I? I needed the 2 little single ones that was in there. We have. Right, okay. Oh, 4 then. You're saying 4. Yeah, they're right. There is 4. Wow. Okay. 4. Cool. So we take one of the 3 and put one either end. And we need to do this twice at the end of the day. So basically, what we need to do is create this little indent window sort of thing. So one either end, basically. So, okay, fair enough. Cool, okay. So we've got 2 of them and 2 of the others, which we've done. Cool, so now, again, we'll put one at one end, one at the other. Cool. And these are, one's going at one end, right, that's interesting. So one goes at one end, one goes at the other of that grey to build it up. Right, so when you put the corner ones on, right, when you've done them other bits, one that side and one that side, the other remaining two bits of black one, you don't put them one either side, you put it up where the grey goes. So it's sort of, it's trying to build this area up, because one was slightly higher, which it still is, this slide, but it's got to be a reason why they've done that. So again, just bear that in mind when you're following the book. Right, cool. Page 122. Right, at the end of the day, let me have a quick bite of my pot noodle. Two of the red. Two red. One. Two. And we need some blank plates of the yellows. That's one. Got one down here. There's two. Now we've got some black ones of them funny things, so they might be in here, which they are in here. Same thing again, it looks like we're trying to build a pillar thing up. It looks like it too. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, so we take the black one and place the red single on its front. Cool. And put a yellow in front of the red. And we just need to do that twice so you can actually see. Cool. So the red goes on the black and the yellow goes on the red. Cool. Right, okay. And these again sit, they're a facial front, where this is, you know, when we created that little L pillar, it sits snugly because it's obviously flush at the back. It sits right on top on that, and it's now made a pillar up. And it's the same with that side. Cool. So, block of 4, 2 blocks of 4, 1 block of 4. Yeah, we have got 1 block of 4. We need another. Yeah, we've got one of them. Yes, of the number 2. We need to take a long one and one of these. No, 2 of them. Cool. Right, okay. So again, make sure that's facing. So we're going to take this one. So it looks like we're going to put a 4 on it in that gap, which we have. It's slightly raised. And then we need to put the long ones 2 on top of each other to make it flush, which we have. Cool. And then we're going to take an existing yellow one, put it on the outside, and I'll show you in a minute. The black goes on the inside, and that. Cool. And again, the other yellow one goes on the side. So the other yellow brick is now all flush now. So this is how it now sits at the end of the day. So we've built this area up, but there's got to be a reason why they've done that, because I think that something goes in. We now put the yellow in on there, and we've raised this side up as well. So that's cool. So we need another block of 6, which is only 1 in them. One of the 2, cool, okay. 1 of the 4, which there's still another 2 left. We need the small. I've got a small one. As James says. Right, 2 of these. Oh, 3 of them. Wow, okay. The ones that's got the hole in. Right, okay, fair enough. And 1 of the single one of that. Okay, cool. And it did say 1. So again, we're trying to build the sides up. So let me try and grab the block of the single one on the corner goes on there. Cool, okay. The block of 6 goes on the 6, so it goes on the other side. The black one goes on the inner. Cool. that's now done. The rest is now on this side at the end of the day. So we look like we're going to be facing one side, so they're back to front of each other, and I'll show you what I've done. That one clips over like that, and then that one again faces. So the block of 6 sits on this side, and you put a little single black one on there, so it looks like it's making a window up. And on this side it's a little bit different, a little block of 4, and you've also got 2 of these back to back to each other, so it pokes a hole right through. And again, single block on the front there, with the the twin block ones, and this single hole one again at the side of it, so it's looking like that, so you can clearly see. All right, that's cool. So we're going to need, we ain't finished yet because we only have a page, 8 of these now of the cubes. Wow, right, okay, so it might pay me to take them out. So that's 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we need 4 of the little flat ones. Right, so 4, the little raised ones, which it is, they're all raised. Okay, cool. Right, okie dokie. Right, now we look like we're building the sides up here now. So before we do anything, let me grab 2 blocks, because on the book, I'll show you the book. The book actually shows you little diagrams of what to do next and where to roughly put them. But they don't always put that little diagram, so they just show you a picture where it goes. It's supposed to, in sort of like off-angled. So we need to do this 4 times. So what I'm doing, I'm putting 2 blocks and then a yellow one on top, and then I've got to repeat that 4 times. And that would make sense because that's exactly what you've got, should be sitting on the table. There's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. So we've got 4 little pillars. Now we need to put these pillars, we need to top these pillars up, which they're probably going to go in the corners of the front there, and probably bring it just about the right height, which one does, that one does, and one in that corner, which that brings that up, and one in that corner. Perfect. So now we filled the corners in, right, and we filled that corner in, so which is perfect. That's filled that up. So let's now back up to scratch. So next thing is, what do we need? We need some flat 3s, which should be 2 of them, which there is. Last 2 black ones, we should have 2 or 3 of them, which are probably going to be in here. They are. That's exactly where they are. I'm going to pull these out now because they're near enough, except for that bag. That bag's still quite full, but with the other little bag I'll leave there, leave left out at the end of the day. So 2 black, 2 yellow. So no surprise. So again, we're building the sides up. So one goes one side, one goes the other, and then we're going to put the black right next to it and build that side up. Perfect, which it is. So it's now all flush with the sides. Cool. Right. So we need 2 blocks of 4. The last 2 blocks of 4. We need 2 blocks of the long ones. Yeah, okay. 2 blocks of 3. Yeah, cool. It should be 2 blocks of 4, which there is. Right, cool. Okay, bring it in. Again, now we need to be careful where we need to put these, because now we've got to start building the sides up. So one goes right up the end. Cool. Okay, that fills that in. One goes up the other end. That fills that gap in. Lovely. At the end of the day, we need to put a block of 3 at one end. Cool. Block of 3 at the other. Lovely. Now where do these other ones go? Let's have a look. Right, one goes, block of 4 goes at one end. Cool. I see where they're going. You're stacking it up. The black goes behind, which it does. So we're getting a black and white. We're getting a black and yellow theme. Oh, wrong one. At the end of the day. So we've got a hole at the top there, but we've got like a black and white theme, black and yellow theme on that one. So it looks like a bumblebee on that front. So that's cool. That's done. Right, I'm getting less pieces now. So again, seem to be steaming, getting this done a lot better, because it's making it an easier build. It's making the small ones more difficult. So we need 4 of the reds now, of the last reds, which it is, the flat ones. Right, okay, cool. Last of the 2 of them. We need 8, the last 8 of these standoff ones. So again, of these fancy brackets. So what we got there, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, and we got 8. Cool. Okay. And we need 4 of the flat ones, which we have. We've got 4 of the blacks. Cool. So what we need to do next, it looks like we're doing exactly the same thing again. We take one of these and we build this up. And we got to do this 2 times. So again, it's part of that window build up. Which is really cool. Right. So we're going to put one in the centre. There's exactly the same again at the end of the day. So one either side, and that's how there it is. So we've got to make another one of them up. It says make 2. So, okay, fair enough. Front in the middle. Right, okay. Block, either the flat ones either side. And now we've got 2 of these. So, like an L bracket. Cool. And we've got 2 of these left over. So again, these look like they will be sitting above it. So at the end of the day. So again, right on the corner. So it's facing like that. And that's how it sits. So you've got in a bit. And then you can do the same on the other side. So again, same thing. Exactly the same. Right? So, and then we'll take because you've got a lip here. This is the idea of these bits. It builds it up so it sits flush, which it does. It puts it nice and flush. It's exactly where it's telling you to put these, and it does. Looks like that's the right part. 3 part there and a 3 part there, and it is a 3 part either side. Lovely. Cool. Okay. So let me see if we've got any more of them. See, this is interesting because it's now right. Oh, I see. Yeah, so right, that was that side. Now the other side says 2 bricks. Right, okay, fair enough. So we are coming up to the last of these parts. So it says you're supposed to have 2 of these, which we have. Okay, 2 of the flats, which we have. Okay, fair enough. Put them up there. And these will be going, I assume, exactly the same thing again. It looks like you're going to be building, again, 1 on one side. No, 1 goes down. No, that's got to come off. It looks like you've got to build a pillar, I think, again. Okay, fair enough. That was lucky. I got that off my finger. So basically, exactly the same thing again. It looks like we're going to be building a pillar section up on this section again. for the next part, because we need to create this. I don't know why. There must be reasons why they've designed it like that. But with exactly the same way, a layout, and then you're going to probably build in another tower for it to go out. So anyway, that's done. Right, the remaining 2 of these, of the bricks, the remaining 2 of these, and the corners. Lovely, okay. And what we need to do is bring it back in. So, again, facing front, always turn it slightly offset so I know where these go. And again, it sits on that flush, so it brings this flush. The same on there, it brings that flush. The corners, we got, yeah, so you're going to have 1 of each. So because the way it is shaped, there's like a corner, right? You can actually see it's fitted. That's the idea of the corner brick. It slots in, and then it looks like it's all complete. So it's like that, and it's the same thing on this side. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense, and it all slots in. It does. It all slots in lovely. Cool. Right, the remaining now. So 1 of these flat caps, and we've got 1 tube, 1 long shaft. We've got 1 of these and 1 of them end bits on there. Cool, okay. A little blue cog. A little, yes, 1 of them. At the end of the day. No. No, the little cream 1 of them. Okay. So what we need to do is take the cream one and put it through the bottom. So it looks like it can only go at the bottom. Oh, there. So on this, oh, you can have it top or bottom. Oh, I see. I didn't see that at the end of the day. I'm putting it at the bottom. I'm just copying what it says on there at the end of it. And then what we need to do, the one that's got the notch cut out at the top, this looks like an handle, slots. You have to push it all the way through so it sticks out. Right, so you can clearly see it sticks out. And then basically just push that in, so now it sits flush. So now you can feel like that's a bit of an handle. Cool, okay. The second part is, this is the handle. It pushes all the way through until you've got a nice snug fit, which it is. Nice snug fit there at the end of the day. Cool. So we're going to keep it in this orientation of the way we've got it. So the beige bit sticking out. We take the yellow bit, doesn't matter what side, it's capped anyway, and it snaps into place, which is cool. And we'll take the little red one, and where the little bit is sticking up from the top, that stays at the top. So it looks like then we've got an handle, so you can actually physically see. That's cool at the end of it. So yeah, that does make sense on that front. So telling you not to the other parts yet, because obviously you need to put that inside, and I think this is where the handle's going to sit. So it looks like it's going to go through here, right? So the handle goes all the way in, which sits in at the side. This is going to be part of the mechanical side. Then the cog, there's no left or right of where this cog sits. It just sits in snug, right in of that, and you can actually see the cog turning at the end of it. And where that little yellow cap is, that's the idea of that little cap. You put it on, and then it hides that little red piece up, basically, so you don't get to see it. So you've got a nice handle sitting on there, and we've got a cog sitting inside. Cool. Okay, that's good. Now we're coming up to the final bits of this stage now, so, which is cool, which is going to be a small piece, another long beige one, a funny looking cap thing with 3 holes through, and a green cog at the end of the day. Okay. Now it looks like this is going to be part of the cog mechanism, and it looks like it's going to be broadcasted on this side at the end of it. So again, no, we need to flip it round. So, because it looks like it all goes through here where these 3 holes are, which makes sense because we're making a cog system up at the end of the day. But again, not telling you how to do it. So first things first, the green cog, there's no certain way round this goes, it's universal. We take the long shaft and not the short shaft, put the long shaft straight through, right, and that's what it looks like to me. Put the long shaft straight through, push it all the way through, all the way, so it looks like you've got a bit on there. So you've got a bit this side and a bit this side, so it looks even at the end of the day. And then it's saying the side that's the shortest side, you take this, and it doesn't matter which way this goes round at the end of the day, and it looks like you've got to pull it, turn it upside down and pull it at the furthest point. Now it doesn't matter if that was on, if the other side was up there, because I suppose well, I don't know, I suppose it does, but I'm just copying what he's saying onto the thing there at the end of it. So we've got that now into place, so you can actually physically see that we've got the cog going through, and this side is now going from up here, so you know it's part of a mechanism. But we've still got this little part here yet, and that's probably going to pay what's going to go in next at the end of it. So what we need to do, right next to it, you've got another yellow piece of a hole, and I think that's where it goes, because again the diagram is not very clear. It should do, because that then sits into that piece and then that slides into there, which it does. Now we've got a gear cog mechanism, which does make perfect sense. So I was right of the way that's been situated. So this piece is facing down, right? So it's facing down because it's obviously got a clip into one of these holes, and now you've got a twin cog mechanism, something to work on at the end of the day. So yeah, that's actually quite cool. And the remaining bit that's sticking out, you've got a little bit of the cog sticking out. That's what this is for. So of that shaft, you push that on. Now it's obviously going to be like a bit, something's going to be going over there at the front, at the point. But anyway, that's now all sorted. So we've got some remaining we've got a few bits left over. So we need one of the long shafts, because there's only one there. Again, 2 of the blues, great, lovely. We've got a single piece and this double piece. Yeah, okay. Now we've got to make something up. So we take this long piece one here, which is a really weird sort of setup. And basically what we need to do is put it both in the short ends of the shaft on the long pieces on there. So they're both long shafts are sticking out. So this is obviously going to be making something up. And the short pieces in here, looks like it goes through partly, but we won't push it all the way through. It's because obviously this has to go onto something. So we'll partly put that in at the end of the day. And the other 2 pieces clip in, which it does on that front. So it says push it all the way down. Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 shafts sticking out. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. So that is now going to be part of this mechanism, which I assume, yes, and I was right in what I was saying. So when I said to you, don't push all that the way through, it clips into the hole underneath, and these holes slot in. It has to go in the first 2 holes underneath. Right, so the first 2 holes, which I don't know if you can see, let me have a look. First 2 holes at the back end, this has to slide in and it clips in. Right, so don't push that red thing all the way in, because that clicks in, and then you can push this all the way in. It's a locking pin, which it is. That now locks the mechanism, right? So it can spin, and this won't come loose, because it's now got, it's like a guide. Let me try and show you. Get my fingers out of the way, and I can show you what I mean. So yeah, that has to lock in. So don't push that guide pin all the way through, because once that's in, you should have one single hole at the furthest back. It should be open, which it is, which is cool. So that's that taken care of. Because again, it's not telling you what's going on there. And that's that for that build. That's for episode 5 of that front. And we've got a few pieces left over, but it's all put back into place. There's no bits missing. And that front, we've made the part of a mechanism going for a handle. It's obviously going to get a lot more complex yet, because we started to build this up and it's started to take shape. So this is going to be episode 5 finished. So I will be catching you guys in the next build. So thanks for watching.